What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done like an intro clip that's not like vlog style in so long. I feel like this isn't even a full sit down video, but just having this like sit down video setup intro is throwing me for a loop. But anyways, welcome back. I literally just got back from the gym, so my face is a little bit rosy right now. But I've been getting questions about how I like actually choose the exercises that I do in a workout. And I thought that was such a good question, and it is not addressed a lot at all. And I kind of feel like it's a perfect time to dive into this because it piggybacks on my last video of how to structure your own workout. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a full upper body workout, and not only am I going to be giving you some form tips, but I'm also going to be explaining why I chose the exercise that I did and kind of how I strategized the workout, I guess, if you will, because there's a few things that goes into me actually choosing my workout, like the actual exercise, right? So it comes down to kind of like what muscle obviously I want to target, what's my intention and goal with that exercise. Do I want it to be to help me with strength? Do I want it to be for just to add volume? Also, thirdly, am I choosing a specific exercise just because I need an exercise in a specific movement pattern? So what I mean when I say different movement patterns is essentially like each exercise takes place in a specific movement pattern, right? So there's vertical pull, vertical push, horizontal pull, vertical pull, right? There's a squatting motion, there's a lunge motion, there's a hip hinge movement pattern. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, you'll understand as I explain it and have examples throughout the video. Like, each exercise is taking place in a specific movement pattern, and incorporating different movement patterns helps to diversify and well-round your training and make sure that you're like hitting your muscles from all different angles. So I think that's all of the prereq stuff I have to say. I hope this clears up the air. I hope this gives you more insight of how to choose your actual specific exercises in your workouts. So enjoy the video.
So I figured I would still show you my warm-up just because, but I'm obsessed with foam rolling my back because honestly it just cracks my back and I'm obsessed with cracking things. But also foam rolling is great for warm-ups because it helps to stimulate blood flow, which is also great to get your body ready for movement. So this will also just help to warm up my back muscles by stimulating blood flow. And then I've been doing this stretch on the foam roller, which is absolutely amazing to stretch like my shoulder sockets because that's always so tight. So I'll kind of keep rolling back and forth. I'll do it with my hands like close together and farther apart just for different grips, and it feels so good. It's also kind of yoga-esque, like some downward dog action, so I feel like it's good for some spine mobility, and I just absolutely love it. But in regards to the actual workout, there's two main, because like I said, this is a full upper body workout, right? So there's two big main muscle groups in this workout. It's either chest or back. Now I am prioritizing back in this workout, so that's why I'm starting with back exercises. I'm putting them first in my workout because they're my main priority, so I want to make sure I'm using up the most of my energy and putting the most of my refreshed new energy towards my priority, right? So here, also side note, this is just me extending my warm-up. I'm just doing my first exercise with light weight. So with that being said, since I am prioritizing back, I'm starting with back exercises. I could either choose a vertical pull motion or a horizontal pull motion. Like I said previously, those are two different movement patterns. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you do first. It just is, whatever you're preferring. I'm looking for a compound movement because I want to start also with a movement that's going to prioritize strength, hypertrophy, and allowed me to progressively overload, or essentially just increasing the difficulty of my weight to increase strength, to increase muscle mass, etc. This is going to be the main focus of my workout, the main bulk to help with stimulating muscle growth. So here I just chose to start off with a horizontal pull motion, pulling because it is going to be inevitably targeting our back and our biceps. So, like I said, barbell row, I want it to be for strength, for power, for hypertrophy, etc. So that's why I'm sticking in the rep range of 12 reps. It could be anywhere between 8 to 12 reps here, but honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to do this many reps with this weight, but hey, we're moving up in the world, getting stronger. So quick form tips here. I am keeping my neck in line with my spine. I always pretend like there's a board strapped to my back. I'm pushing kind of my hips back to get into this position. And when I'm doing this row, I'm driving my wrists back towards my hip crease and keeping my elbows tight to my side. This is what's going to help us really target that upper back back, which is the main focus here in this exercise. What's also really important before you get into this movement is to roll your shoulder blades back and down to kind of set, as you can see I'm doing here. This will help to engage those back muscles that we are wanting to by dropping our shoulders away from our ears is kind of another way to look at it. I find when I don't do that, I just really can't feel my back working the way that I want to, and it doesn't make it as efficient. So that's a tip if you really struggle to feel it in your back. I also keep a nice slight bend in my knee just to be more centered and stabilized over the weight and have a more solid base to brace myself for that weight. You want to try to eliminate bouncing and momentum in the movement, but a little bit is kind of inevitable here. So then moving into chin up. So next, like I said, is going to be a vertical pull motion because we just did a horizontal pull motion. Because of that, I could have chose like a lat pull down or something like that, or like a cable pullover, but here I just opted for chin ups because this is something that I want to work on my strength with. So that's why I chose it next. Also, it is a very difficult movement for me. I'm not super strong with it. So again, that is why I chose to make it the second exercise of the workout, because I'm fresh, I have the most energy, and if I were to save it till the end, I would be way too tired to be progressing in it. You want to put the movements and the lifts and the exercises that you're really prioritizing in the beginning of your lift. So here it's kind of different in regards of explaining why I chose a certain rep range, because I really am just going till failure here. So here I did my first set, I did 8 reps and I did 6 reps, and then I kind of cheated for a 5th rep at the 3rd set. So these are chin ups. Quick form tip here, same thing, retract your shoulder blades back and down when you kind of get into it. Drop your shoulders away from your ears to engage your lats. Here the main focus here is your lats and your biceps for the most part, and you're really just pulling up with your lats. Your hands are just hooks for the weights for your body. You're going to be focusing on pulling yourself up with those lat muscles, and I always like to do a slight negative on the way down to help constantly be working for strength in the future. Showing you my gross calluses because gym girl things, material girl. Oh, I hate that I just said that. Okay, then I went into incline bench press. I literally never do this, so here I am with absolutely no weight. Shout out, been lifting for 6 years. We all still have our beginner lifts. So I usually do this with dumbbells, but I was like, let's try it with the bar. So I didn't really do any weight because I just kind of felt like, I don't know, focusing more on form here. And I also don't feel a need to go really heavy on like chest movements. Anyways, getting off topic. Now this is a vertical pushing motion. Pushing meaning it is inevitably targeting your chest, your triceps, and sometimes your shoulders, depending on what the movement pattern is. So here I did 3 sets of 12. I did opt for a little bit higher rep range here intentionally. Like I said, with the barbell row, I didn't think I was going to be able to hit 12 every set. But here with the bench press, I did, and I purposely went a little bit lower because I was focusing more so on form as opposed to really focusing on pushing heavier weight. In terms of form, you never want your arms to be coming out at like a T when you're doing any sort of bench pressing. They're kind of here more so at a 45-degree angle. Again, even to get into the movement, I retracted my shoulder blades back and down for a stable base and to engage my muscles and keep my core tight. I have a nice wide stance on the floor. My heels are really rooted into the ground. I know it's weird when you're a girl to spread your legs that wide, but it really helps with having a solid base. And my thumbs aren't wrapped around their bar. They're kind of tucked around so they're close to my fingers. You don't want to get in that habit of locking the thumb around because it could get in a bad habit, and then you could hurt your thumb eventually from the weight in that place. It's just an unstable place for your thumb. So then I moved into another vertical pulling motion. However, this one's kind of an interesting one because it's still hitting your shoulder. Like I said, your lateral delt, even though it is a pull motion, which I said would be your back and biceps. So this is still for shoulders. This was for 3 sets of 15. I chose a higher rep range here again because I was focusing more so on like muscle endurance as opposed to building. I'm very content with my shoulders right now, so I just kind of wanted to maintain that muscle mass. In terms of form, I am grazing that barbell up along my side, up along the front of me, my hands are just hooks for the weights. My palms are always facing down, and I'm coming up until my arms are parallel with the ground, and I'm making a T with my arms essentially, and just continuing that for every rep. Then after that, I went into another pulling motion. So this technically is a horizontal pull motion, you can say. I don't really know what this is called. I'm going to say a high cable rear delt row. Did this for 3 sets of 15. Again, a little bit higher rep because I'm doing such a small muscle group, which is that back of your shoulder muscle, your rear delt. So it just doesn't yield a very heavy load. So I'm increasing intensity by increasing the reps as opposed to trying to, move a ton of weight. Now, the reason why this is different, it has a different target, even though it's still a horizontal pull, just like the barbell row is a horizontal pull. My elbows are flailing out here. As you can see, as opposed to the barbell row, I was keeping our elbows in tight to our sides. This is still going to hit your back and your biceps, but by keeping your elbow out, it's shifting the focus from your upper back and more so towards that rear delt or that muscle in the back of your shoulder. So that's why I opted for this, to hit that muscle, because it's kind of an underworked muscle a majority of the time. It's very overlooked. So in terms of form here, I'm down on one knee and the cable is all the way up at the top of the rack. My palms are facing down the entire time, and I'm basically just driving my elbow back, and I'm keeping it very far out from my side. I'm not letting it sag in or drop in at all. This is also great because it's kind of like you have to brace yourself with your core a lot because of where the load is, where the weight is. So it's also a great movement for stability and all that good stuff. So as you can see so far, we've moved from very big compound moves, meaning movements that have more than one joint involved and more than one muscle is being targeted in the move. They're movements that yield a higher load because you're just in a more stable position to move more weight. We've gone from there and we've moved more so into more isolated movements where we're targeting one single muscle at a time. Usually only one kind of joint is involved in the movement for the most part, and we're going a little bit higher in reps because it doesn't yield as heavy weight. So now we're getting into really isolated stuff to finish off the workout. So I wanted something to really add some volume to my biceps and isolate my biceps. So I just did some curls for 3 sets of 15. This is technically a vertical pulling motion. Again, supposed to target our back and biceps. Here it is, our biceps. So in terms of form, my hands are just about shoulder width apart. I did a supinated grip. My palms are facing towards the sky, keeping my elbows nice and tight towards my sides, trying to eliminate momentum. I pretend there's like a pin through my elbows so they're not flailing outward, and I make sure that my arms don't like sag in at the top. I'm kind of stopping just at peak contraction, which is kind of about 85% of the way, not the full 100 till my arms are completely up towards my shoulder, if that makes sense. So now same thing, I wanted to isolate my triceps, so I opted for dips. This is again technically like a vertical pushing motion. I would say 3 sets of 20 reps here just for a burnout. This again is a super isolated move. That's why I saved it for the end. I'm opting for high reps here because this is just a body weight movement. So I'm adding intensity by increasing reps as opposed to increasing weight.
Alright, you guys, that's it for the video. I know it's kind of on the shorter end because it just wasn't a vlog, but I just really wanted to like take this video and just keep it specifically focused on this so you could always come back to it for reference. But I hope you guys learned something from this or gained some insight in how to choose your own exercises in your workout and kind of understood kind of the strategy that goes into it and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a little thumbs up. Let us know in the comments. You know how it goes. I'm sending you guys so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.